Hi students. In previous class, we have discussed about flavors of Python, and also we have discussed about very important features we have discussed. So today we are going to discuss about other features in other features in Python, and also we'll discuss about what are the applications or projects we can develop in Python. All these we'll discuss. And in the next class, we are going to discuss about Python installation, then interactive mode, batch mode. Then all these we are going to discuss. And those who have missed previous classes, if anybody is missed previous classes, you can watch the previous demos in YouTube. So you can talk to online team. They will give you the link. You can watch the previous class videos. You can watch. And for those who have already registered, so I will send the notes and the videos to your mail IDs. So I didn't take the mail IDs from online team. I will send you the day-wise notes and recorded sessions. I will send to your mail ID. So here we are discussing about Python features. So latest version of Python is 3.9.4 is the latest version. And in previous classes also I've told many features related to Python. So today we'll continue with the other features. So yesterday I've told up to object-oriented programming. Yesterday we have discussed up to here. So here in Python we can see extensible and integrated is there. So extensible means in Python application, in Python project, we can use C, C++ libraries, or else we can use Java or .NET components we can use. So in Python, what we can do is we can bring other languages features into Python. That we can do. Like for example, like every language has like a specialty, like it has got different features. Like C, C++ are used for system programming, and .NET will provide high level security, and Java provides execution is fast. So then what we can do is we can bring other languages features into Python application. So here we can see cross language communication. Cross language communication means Python code can work with other languages code. That possibility is there here. So code written in one language can communicate with the code written in code wrote in other languages. So that possibility is there here. And integrated is there here. So integrated means in other languages applications, Python uh, code can be used. So in C, C++ or Java, .NET applications. So if you want to use Python code, so then Python code can be used in other applications. Why? Because is like when you take Python, it is not only for software development, it can do many other tasks, like for calculations, for automation, and for other things like for handling big data. Python we can use. So in future, in real time, like in other languages, we can see the Python code in other languages. We can see that possibility will be there. Okay, and here you can see ninth one I'm explaining now. So largest standard library is there. So Python has a largest standard library. Python is having hundreds of modules or thousands of modules. So Python community or Python software foundation, so they have already developed hundreds of modules or thousands of modules, or we can say libraries. So by using them, applications can be developed quickly or easily. Easily we can develop. So as I said before, in Python, 90% of the code is already developed, already done. So from our side, we should give 10% of the code to do the to do the project or to work with the project. Okay, so here while working with this like modules and all, application development is done very fast. Like a rapid application development is there. So compared with other languages like C or Java, like we have to give 100% coding. Lot of programming we need to do. But here with less programming, we can develop applications or projects. And here 10th one we are discussing now, high level language is there. So in this 10th point, like we'll work with memory management here. So we'll see what is memory management, and then how it is going to work, we'll see here. And when we are working with other languages, like for example, if you work with C, C++, Java, .NET, so they are called as strongly typed languages. Okay, so strongly typed languages means according to the given data types, memory is allocated and then values are stored. So we can store information. Okay, so like those are working with C, C++, Java, .NET, then they should have idea about the data types what we are using, like what data types to be used, like what is the range, what is the how many bytes it is going to take, what is the range of the value, like all these programmer should know. So programmer should have idea about what memory management. Okay, so if a programmer is having about memory management, then programmer can do programming. Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay, so they should know. Like when we say Python, so when we work with Python, Python is also a language. Yesterday I've told no, it is a scripting language, and Python is having data types. Python is having operators, if condition, for loop, while loop, all are there. But Python is also having data types. But the difference is there that we are going to see now. Okay, so like for example, in C language, if I give like this, if I say int a, then char here I'll use char s of 20 is given, and here I'll say float b is given here, float b. So in C language, we'll give declarations like this. In C language, we'll give like this. So int a is given. So in a variable a, we can store integer values. We can store here in variable a. Okay. So this for variable a, it will preserve 2 bytes. So why it will preserve 2 bytes is int means it takes as int 16. So int 16 it will take. So here 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. So bits means binary values, zeros and ones. So 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. So here we are using int 16, it will takes here. Okay. So in variable a, we can store integer value. In variable a, we can store integer value. So in variable a, if I give characters, let us say in variable a, I am trying to give characters. Is it possible? No, it is not possible. So why? Because is variable a is strongly typed. Because according to the given data type, we have to store the values. So int a means a will accept only integers. It cannot accept characters. We all know that. Okay, that's why we are saying strongly typed. According to the given data type, values are stored. And here if I say char s of 20 to store 20 characters, here we are using like this. Then it will preserve 20 bytes in the memory. And here you can see float b is given here. So this b is used to store decimal values or real values. So for float b, it will preserve 4 bytes in the memory. Okay. So according to the given data type in the beginning of the program, then we have to store the values. That's why we are saying strongly typed. And what all data types we use in C, C++, Java, .NET, they are called static data types. So static data types means the variables are assigned to the data types at compilation time. At compile time, variables are assigned to the data types, then allocating memory space, allocating memory, then storing the values. All this is done. All this is done one by one. Okay. So, like those are working with C, C++, Java, .NET, they should know completely about data types, then memory allocation, what values we are going to store, what is the range of the values. All these we need to know. Okay, so now here coming to this Python here. So Python is called loosely typed language. So loosely typed language. Say this is about only data types we are saying about data types. Okay, so we if other languages are strongly typed, then Python we can say weakly typed language. Okay, but I do not want to use that word weakly typed language. That's why I'm saying a loosely typed language. So we'll say loosely typed only. Nobody will use weakly typed language. Okay. So Python data types are not weak data types. Okay. So they are not weak data types. We can store the values. We can access the values. All this is done. That's why I'm saying loosely typed. Okay. So here, in whatever data types are there in, while working with Python here, so programmer will not assign data types to the variables. Programmer will not assign data types to the variables. Program will assign data types to the variables. So internally data types are assigned. Internally data types are assigned. Okay. So Python data types are called dynamic data types. So why? Because is when the program is executed, when the program is being executed, then data types are assigned to the variables. Internally data types are assigned. Like for example, if I say a equal to 100, so I'm not writing int a equal to 100. So if I say a equal to 100, then a is integer variable. And if I say s equal to Hyderabad, then s is a string variable. So according to the given values or according to the given data, then the data types are assigned to the variables. Okay. So in Python, we'll not write int variable name, string variable name, float variable name. We are not going to write, because the programmer is not assigning data types to the variables. So programmer will not assign, program will assign. Python is going to assign data types to the variables at runtime. When the program is being executed, at that time data types are assigned to the variables. And here when we are working with these data types here, like here I'm saying loosely typed. Now we'll see like how to assign data. Here I want to tell one more thing here. If I say a equal to 100, then here it will takes as int. So in Python, int data type is there. Okay. So int data type can be int 32, or it is int 64 here. Int 64. So a equal to 100 means it is int data type. Okay. So Python is available in 2 bits. Python software. Python software is available in 2 bits. So we can download 32-bit or we can download 64-bit Python. Okay. So default is 64-bit only. Default is 64-bit. So I'm using 32-bit in my system. So I'm using Windows 10 Pro. I'm using Windows 10 Professional. I'm using Windows 10 Professional, and here it is 64-bit. Operating system is 64-bit. So here right click on this PC or my PC is there. So properties, and here you can see this. So here it is showing 64-bit operating system. 64-bit operating system it is giving here. Okay. So Windows is 64-bit and Python I'm using 32-bit. You can use 64-bit also. So 32-bit, 64-bit is related to memory. Okay, Python concepts will not change. Whatever I'm telling in the classes, whatever chapters we discuss, whatever modules, functions we'll discuss, they are same in 32-bit or 64-bit. 32, 64-bit is related to memory management. Okay, so when we install Python, here, so before that here, like for example, if I use a equal to 100, then in my system int 32 will works. For a variable a, int 32 will work because I'm using Python 32-bit software. Then for variable a, it will preserve 4 bytes. 32 bits means 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. So 4 bytes. So if you are using Python 64-bit, yeah, in your system, if a Python 64-bit is there, okay, and if you write a equal to 100, then it will a will be in 64. So a will use as int 64. It will use. So int 64 means it will preserve 8 bytes in the memory. 8 bytes it will preserve. Like this for every data type, like 32-bit, 64-bit will be there. So when we declare variables based on bit we are using, 32-bit or 64-bit, then it will uses. It will works. And then here, when we are working with Python, so when you install Python, say Python installation, then data types, all these we didn't discuss. We haven't discussed. So in next classes, I'll tell Python installation, interactive mode, batch mode, all these. So when we install Python, we'll get two icons. So interactive mode and batch mode will get. So this icon is called interactive mode. So every line is executed immediately, and then it will give the result. Every line is executed immediately, and then it is giving the result here. So to check the features of Python, like how the modules are working or how the functions are working, for that we are using this. And here batch mode is there. We'll call it as ideally. So ideally means integrated development learning environment. So ideally is an editor, just like Notepad. So we can write the programs and we can execute the programs. So here we are saying batch mode. Batch means set of statements. So when we create a block, when we write a code block means a block is having some code. So when we write a code block, or when we write set of statements, it is treated as batch. Here we can write the programs and we can execute. So here a double click on interactive mode. So when I double click on interactive mode, it is giving 3 greater than symbols like this. So this will works as it will works as a prompt here. It will works as a prompt. Okay. So here we can execute the statements, and then quickly we'll get the result. Now here I'm giving like this, s equal to Hyderabad is given. Okay, so s is the variable, then Hyderabad is the string or value we are using. So this can be given in single quotes, or this can be given in double quotes. We can give the like string. Okay, and here I'm not giving data type for variable s. So when we are executing the statements or when we execute the program, data types are assigned to the variable. Internally they are assigned. And here I'll say print s. See, if I give s directly, then it will show with single quotes. Without single quotes, if you want to print, here we have to use print function. So print s. And here I'm using type of s I'm using. So we are not giving data types. And here if I want to know what data type is assigned to the variable, like in beginning classes, in beginning chapters, we'll have that excitement, like to know, to see what is the data type assigned to the variable. Afterwards, we'll not have that excitement because we'll know what data type is assigned to the variable. We'll automatically know. Okay. So here when I say type s, it is showing class str. Class str it is giving. Okay. So what is the data type assigned to variable s? So str is assigned here. Okay. So in Python, what all data types are there? like fundamental data types, collection data types. In the next classes, we are going to discuss all those. What all data types are there in Python? All are created using class. Data types are created using a class. So data types in the languages, data types creation in the languages is not a separate mechanism, like what we should not know. Okay. So data types here, data types are created using class. So in C language, if you want to create a new data type, C language is having 14 data types. So if you want to create a new data type, then we can use the structures or unions in C language. So in Python, whatever data types are there, they are created using class. So those who know object-oriented programming, those who know C++ or basic Java, core Java, they know what is a class. Okay. So in object-oriented programming, when we say class, class contains variables and functions. So variables are used to store values and the functions are used to perform operations like accepting the values, doing calculations, displaying the values. Like all these we can do it. So when you create a class with variables and functions, if there is a class, then we can create object. Object can be created. So object we can call it as a class variable, variable given to the class. Okay, or we can say instance of the class. Instance means copy. Object means it is the copy of the class. Why? Because it contains the memory address or memory location of the class. So we can say that object is itself a class. Okay, we can say class and object are same only. So in that case, like object will always refers to the class. Okay, so if there is a class, we can create an object. Like in simple words, we can say we can create variable. Okay, like because in the next sessions also I'll say class and object. Then some of you may be having doubt like what is a class, what is an object. So for that I'm explaining all this. So here as of now, here I've told what is a class, what is an object. But in next classes we are going to discuss in detail about this object-oriented programming, how it will works, all this. Okay. So here class str is given. So now students will have idea like what is a class. Class contains variables and functions. So using class, what we can create? Object. Object we can create. Object contains the address of the class. Okay. Now here I'll say a equal to 10, then b equal to 5 is given, c equal to a plus b, then print c. For numbers directly I can write a c. So it is not giving single quotes here. So it is giving 15, it is giving. So if I want to know what is the data type of C, then here we can use a type of C or A or B or C, anything. Type of A. So it is showing as a class int. See here I'm giving variables and values. I'm not writing a string S, int A, we are not giving. So data types are assigned internally to the variables. So in Python, programmers need not focus on memory management, like what data types to use, how many bytes it will take, what values we should store, what is the range of the values, all this. So in Python, programmers need not focus on memory management because memory is managed automatically by Python, or program is going to take care of memory management, like what data types to assign, how many bytes, what values, what is the range of the values. All these internally it is done. So this is about memory management, like this 10th point. And now here, like Python features are completed. Python features are over. Now we are going to discuss about what are the applications that we can develop using Python. Like we'll see about this. What are the applications, softwares we can develop using Python? So here you can see first one, GUI application is there. So GUI means graphical user interface. So Python is CUI and also GUI, character user interface. Like we can work with black and white screens. like in C language. So how we'll do? And Python is a GUI. So we can create a GUI applications. GUI applications, we can call them as desktop applications or Windows applications. So in advanced Python, like a core Python, it is like a CUI based, like a black and white screens, giving input, getting the result. Advanced Python, we are going to work with a GUI, graphical user interface. So we'll create a form with controls, labels, text boxes, buttons, radio buttons, drop down list, list box, many other controls. So we are going to design the form with controls, and then we'll integrate that form with like a database with MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle database, sending the data, accessing the data, like all these we are going to discuss. So in a desktop applications chapter, so you are going to learn many examples. So designing and connecting to the database. So after completing core and advanced Python, we are going to see the project also. Project. So that project is based on desktop application with database integration. So we'll see how to create login form, registration form, and we'll include many other screens. Okay. So here GUI application or desktop application or Windows application, like all these works in single system. They are used by single user and they are used in single system, or we can say standalone system, standalone computer. Okay, so like students may be having doubt where nowadays where these GUI applications or desktop applications are being used. Okay, so like in Andhra and in Telangana, like nearly like 1 lakh small scale industries are there, like small businesses, 1 lakh. All over India, nearly 14 lakhs small scale industries are there. Like due to this demonetization, many small businesses are closed. Okay, so in every small business, if one or two systems are there, they will use a desktop application, GUI application they'll use. Like whenever you develop ERP applications, then GUI application or desktop applications are used. Okay, and here coming to this web application development. So in Python, we can develop websites or web applications. So to develop websites or web applications, Python is providing different frameworks like Django, Flask, Bottle, Pyramid, then Pylons, Web2Py, Turbo Gears, many are there. Okay, so I'm teaching Django also. So Python, Django I'm teaching. So Django framework is completely developed in Python. So it has Python files or modules. Okay. So here when we say framework, frameworks are developed using languages. So using Python language, Django framework is developed. So framework contains Python files or modules. Okay. And here, when you learn Django, website development, then there you can work with like HTML, JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, Bootstrap. All these we are going to use in Django. In website development, UI technologies or web technologies are used. Like in while giving examples in Django, like when we discuss about Django with project, then at that time we'll use UI technologies or client-side technologies in Django. So Django is a server-side framework, or we can say back-end technology. So in Django we'll use front-end technologies, and also back-end technology we are going to use. That is Django we are going to use. So when a website is developed, or when web application is developed, then it can be used in any network. So a network is classified into three types here. Okay. So here intranet, extranet, and internet is there. So intranet means we'll call it as a LAN, local area network. So local area network means network within the floor in a building, or network in the entire building. We'll call it as LAN. And next one is extranet is there. We are calling it as a metropolitan area network. So if you want to connect to two different networks in two different buildings in the same location, or else in the same street, or else in the same area in colony, then we can use extranet we can use. So metropolitan area network is used to connect two different networks in two different buildings in the same location. Okay, and next one is internet is there, wide area network. So network between countries. See, those who go to interviews as a fresher, those who attend interviews as a fresher in Python, in Java, in .NET, like interviewer may ask, like what is the difference between desktop application and website. So student may have very good knowledge, like student may be very good in all the contents, like whatever the syllabus is there. But if a student don't know how to give answer for that particular basic, very basic question, then they may reject. Okay, so student should be strong in basics, and also in advanced concepts also student should be strong. Okay, and here in Python we can work with the data analytics. So in Python we can work with the data science. Okay, data science here we can use. So those are working with the data science, they'll take the data of the company, they will analyze the data, they will generate reports, and based on the reports that are generated, they can take the decisions. So they can take decisions so that they can run the business successfully. So with the data science, they can have proper planning. If they want to have proper planning, and if they want to have pakka planning, or else if they want to predict the future, if they want to know about the future of the company or business, and if they want to take the decisions, then for all these data science is used. And now here, Python is expert in automation also. Like whatever work done manually, that manual work can be done automatically by using Python. It is done. So Python is automation expert. So when we say automation, without opening the applications, or without opening the any software, without typing, without clicking on button, like if user wants to send emails to the users, automated emails, automated SMS, or without giving any instructions, doing the task, like in MS Word, when we do typing, then if any spelling mistake is there, it will show red underline. If any grammar mistake is there, it will give green underline. Likewise, applications will have many other things like that. Like that is a one type of automation. Okay, so in automation means it can be of any type. Like in automation, we can see 100% automation. 100% automation means robotics. Okay, like when we see machines working, like we'll see nowadays robots are used in many places. Like we'll say robotic surgeries, machines will do the surgery. Okay, like in manufacturing companies and in other companies, machines will do the work. Okay, we can see, like in places, in some places robots will do the work, machines are doing the work. Okay, so like 100% automation means robotic technology will say. Like whatever automation we are using in applications or softwares, it is not 100%. So when we say about robots, we can see humanoid robots and autonomous robots are there. So humanoid robots means according to our instructions they'll work. Autonomous robots means autonomous robotic technology means without giving instructions, they can take decisions by themselves, it will work. Like when we say autonomous robotic technology, like when we see like in other countries, we'll see, like driverless cars, driverless like a train, all these we are listening. So in that case, like autonomous robotic technology is used. Like even in war also, like Britain already conducted trial, they want to introduce robots in war. Okay, so like they have already conducted trial, like they have shown, like it is the robots, like it is looking like dog, like they have named it as big dog, and some robots are like a butterfly or birds. Okay, like robo means we may like think like it is like a human appearance. Okay, but like a robots means it can be machines, it can be in any shape. Okay, so if robots are introduced in war, like they can go to the places where the soldiers cannot go. So in any climatic conditions, it will the robots can go, but the soldiers may not go. Okay, like here in India, like when we see like Pakistan and India border, or like China, India China border, like soldiers may not go. Okay, so in that case, they can send robots. Robots can send the signals to the photos, pictures to the soldiers. All these can be done. Okay, so they can take decisions by themselves, and they can work. So no need to keep one person to operate. Okay, all these are there. Okay, so this is different, and the task automation is different here. Okay, so Python is good in task automation from the starting years, from the beginning years till now. Python is good for task automation. Okay, so task automation means we are going to do in the system. In softwares, we are going to perform this. Okay, so in bank, in IT companies and in other companies, like in banks, anywhere, if you take any company or if you take any business, like they will have servers. They are going to maintain. They are going to maintain servers. Okay, so when they maintain servers, like application servers, they'll maintain, database servers, they'll maintain. Application servers means where our applications will run, or where the websites will run. Websites are also applications. Okay, and the database servers means yeah, the servers will contain the databases related to different clients or companies, or the databases related to different applications, like can be there. Okay, different applications can be there. Okay, so in real time we can see system administrators, network administrators, database administrators, all these will be there. Okay, so all these will be there. Like for example, if you take a database administrator, so database administrator will maintain database servers and will maintain the databases and will do many other tasks, creating database, managing the databases, backup, restore, then patching, creating users, managing users, giving permissions, like a lot of tasks the administrator should do it. Okay, so when we say about administrative tasks, DBA tasks, when we say DBA tasks or administrative tasks, in IT companies and in other companies, like they're going to maintain two servers, like production server and standby server. So production server means which is under production, which is in use. Like the information in the production server is accessed by the employees or else by the customers, Okay, so when we are working with this like when we work with production server, standby server also will be there. Standby server means we'll call it as a substitute. Like if a production server fails, if production server is down, then a standby server will come to live. Okay, so in real time, the server downtime should be reduced. If the server is down for like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, the client valuable time the means it is lost, because in 1 minute they can do lot of work, lot of transactions is done. Especially with banks, in 1 minute, a lot of transactions are done. Okay, so the administrators, what they should do, they have to reduce the downtime. So as when the production server is down, so standby server should come to life. After that, they will work on production server. They'll take some time. Again, that will be ready. All these happens here. Okay. So here, when the companies are maintaining servers, production server, standby server, like IT companies, or like banks or automobile companies, or when you take other companies, or when you take government organizations, when you take governments, or when you take the private organizations, when they maintain the servers, So they will maintain production server and standby server in different places, not in the same floor in the same building. So they can be at least in different floors in the same building, or they can be in different buildings in the same place, or they can be in different buildings in different cities, different countries also, even in different countries. Why? Because is due to natural calamities, like when we say due to floods or tsunami or earthquake, or we can say like due to fire accidents or due to terrorist attacks. If one server is lost, then they can get the backup from some other server. Okay, so like that they can do it. They'll be doing in real time. Okay, so here when the production server and the standby servers are maintained, like when you take popular sites, like when you take Gmail or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, like millions of users will access the website. So with one server, they cannot handle all the users, okay, account holders. So like there, they will maintain hundreds of servers. They will maintain many servers, because when lakhs of users or when crores of users are working with the sites, with two, three systems, two, three servers, they cannot manage. So they will have one big network, a huge network will be there. Then hundreds of servers are connected to network. So there, what they'll do is in networking, one concept is there, load balancing concept is there. So instead of putting entire load on one server, the load is balanced among servers in the network. Like if one person is sending a request, if a first server is busy, the request is moved to second server. If second server is busy, it will go to. So in all the servers, same information will be there. Okay, but the load is balanced among the servers in the network. That's why, like lakhs of users or millions of users or billions of users, when they are working, then we are able to get the response. Like for example, durgasoft site is there. Okay, so that is in that for that one server is enough, because like we don't see more much traffic. Okay, because like every day 5,000 people may open the site, or 7,000 people may open the site. Okay, so like in a day, in a day 5,000 to 7,000 people may open it. People in India and in other countries, they'll open. Okay, so for that heavy traffic won't be there. With one server they can manage, but with other sites it is not like that. Okay, so here I'm explaining one production server, one standby server. Multiple can be there. Okay, so here what the DBA should do is a DBA should maintain, a database administrator should maintain two copies of the same data. Two copies of the same data. Same data, one is in production server and another one is in standby server. Okay, so if DBA want to maintain two copies of the same data, then for every 2 minutes or 5 minutes, DBA should take data from production server, send it to standby server. Okay, so this should be done, this task should be done for every 2 minutes, for every 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So if a DBA is busy only with one task, like this, many tasks will be there. Like this, very complex tasks they have to do it. Then if a DBA think, if a DBA may think like if manually it is not possible, let us go for automation. Okay, then if a DBA know Python, then DBA will write the Python script, Python coding, and it is scheduled according to the given date and time. The script will run automatically. Python program will run automatically. Like this, in a real time, in database servers, many Python scripts will work. So on behalf of administrators, Python scripts will do the tasks. Python programs are doing the tasks. Then DBA's most of the burden is reduced. So DBA can focus on some other tasks or some other work. Okay, so if DBA don't know Python, then they will tell this requirement to the Python development team. They will write the program, they will write the script coding, and that is scheduled. According to the given schedule, it will work. See, here I've told about one example for task automation, like how it is done in real time. Okay, And here when you work with Python, we can work with test cases implementation. While developing the applications or project, we can generate test cases. And after that, we can run, we can check how many are passed, how many are failed, like whatever cases that are created, test cases, like all we can check. So with the test cases implementation, the testing process is simplified here. It will automatically generate the test cases. Again, we can run, we can check which are passed, which are failed, all these we can do it. And in Python, we can work with scientific application development. So if you want to develop applications which deals with like mathematical and numerical calculations, or if you want to develop applications which are used in ISRO, NASA, DRDO, DRDA, ICRISAT, and other organizations, then we can use, if you want to develop applications related to defense or central government organizations, then scientific applications can be used. And if you want to develop networking applications, so networking applications means they are spread in a network and it will allow users to communicate with one another. Now I'm using GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting is a network application. So we can here we can do chatting, audio, video streaming, and screen sharing, webcam. All these are there. Okay, like other networking applications is Zoom is there, and we can see like a Skype is there, and net meeting applications, video conference applications. All these are there. Okay, and also we can in mobile we'll use WhatsApp. It is networking application. So using WhatsApp, people are communicating, then sending files, messages, audio calling, video calling, and many other features we can see. So when we want to develop all these, then Python can be used. And here, if you want to develop gaming or animation applications, so if you want to develop games or animation applications, then by using Python, we can do it. So as a programmers, every time we used to focus on business applications, like e-commerce applications only. But nowadays, like gaming and animation application, now they are equal to other apps also. So if you want to develop gaming applications or animation applications in Python, we have separate modules. So by using them, we can develop. So even in India also, gaming industry is increasing. Like we before when we compare with before, now it is more. Okay, usage of games and all this. Okay, so here in Python we can work with all these applications. So students, I'm stopping now, and tomorrow I'm not taking class. Tomorrow Saturday I'm not taking class. Tomorrow I'm skipping because this is the first week, so I'm skipping tomorrow. Next class is on Monday. So Monday we are going to discuss about the Python installation, interactive mode, then batch mode, Python keywords, Python data types. Like all these we are going to discuss in Monday class. Okay, Monday to Saturday I'll be taking the classes, but tomorrow I'm not taking. Tomorrow I'm skipping. And like those who are not yet registered, so please talk to online team. You can register only for Python, or if you are interested, you can register for both Python and Django. You can Python and Django. You can register. Okay, so I think from Monday this link may change. So you please talk to online team and do register. And when you register, then I will take mail IDs from online team, and I will send all the previous classes video and today's video also, and I will send you the notes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. See, scripting part means programming only. Scripting is nothing but programming. Like within 2 months, we'll see many programs. Those programs we can say scripting. Python is a scripting language. Now we'll write the script means statements only. Programming, we can say script. Okay. Okay, students. Monday will continue.